This is Three Gun Nation Pro Nick Atkinson. I just got beat by Greg Jordan again. You're listening to The Three Gun Show with Dave Hartman.
Welcome to The Three Gun Show, episode 39. I am your host, Dave Hartman, and this is a fun little interview. It's a roundtable with Corinne Mosher, Keith Garcia, and Rick Birdsall. Before we get into the interview, I want to thank you for downloading and listening to the show. The Three Gun Show is a weekly podcast dedicated to the fastest growing shooting sport. In this episode, it's a little bit of a departure from what we normally do. This is a window into the lives of the average three-gunner and three-gunners that operate at a high level. We talk about how they view match performance, what they think of their off-season practice and what they're going to be practicing, and what they think about each other, which is kind of fun. Now, this one's a little bit PG-13, but no worse than you've heard at your local club. Links to everything we talk about can be found in the show notes, so just go check out threegunshow.com/episode 39 when you get a minute. And now, please join me in welcoming the show, Corinne Mosher, Keith Garcia, and Rick Birdsall.
It's a family show, Keith. We can't be doing that.
I'm ready. Let's do this thing.
All right, we are here at the 2015 Three Gun Nation Nationals. I'm here with three competitors that just got done. Rick Birdsall. Rick, welcome to the show.
How's it going?
And Keith Garcia. Keith, welcome to Three Gun Show.
Thanks, Dave. Good to be back.
And Corinne Mosher for the first time. Corinne, welcome to Three Gun Show.
Thank you.
All right, so this is exciting. This is the first time I've had this many people on the mic, and we're in a room with a safe and an elk, and Corinne is petting the elk.
Corinne can't keep her hands off the elk.
How can you not? I mean, it's beautiful and dead, but it's beautiful.
It looks like it's taking a nap. It's lying down backwards.
Well, okay,
it's
so
majestic.
the best part, we were supposed to have Kalani Laker in here, but the elk is better. It's more, it's more personality.
Wow.
It's the eyes.
I love it.
Those are dreamy eyes on the elk over there. So you guys just got done shooting the match, and you were all in the same squad. Is that right?
Yeah, we were in the super squad.
Super squad. Okay.
Pretty special.
So, Rick, how did the match go for you then?
It looked like it went pretty well. I shot pretty well. I'm running the factory division. I got compete against Jesse and Jansen Jones. I think Jansen's still shooting, so we'll see where it all shakes out. But I like my odds. Looking good.
I'm going to go on record and say that you're talking to the 2015 Three Gun Nation National Champion in Factory Division right here, and Rick Birdsall, because he shot very well. I was very impressed with the way he shot over the weekend, because they got to use limited rounds in the magazines, and the shotgun magazine can only hold, 8? The handgun and rifle are limited, and it's tough. It's real tough. You can't have an optic, right?
Yeah, factory this year they changed the rules, so it's 8+1 on the shotgun, 15 rounds in the pistol mags, and then the 1 power optic. So your prismatics and your red dots on the rifle with 30-round mags. So you can't really compare the times anymore like you used to with the old TAC optics. And it really makes it difficult with the stage planning, things like that.
You know, watching you and Corinne trying to figure out the stages and then shooting them, and I the whole time I'm thinking, well, I'm just going to load the magazine up and I'll just shoot, and then I'll put my gun down.
What are they doing? This is so much easier.
And you
than
guys
what
are
they're
shooting
doing.
one here, and then you're going to do take 3 steps and shoot one on another target, and then you'll shoot 4 targets, and then you do a reload. I'm like, why are they doing all that?
It's completely different. So it's hard when you're making your stage plan. You kind of have to just ignore everybody else's what they're doing and their good advice. Oh, this is what I'm doing. What are you doing? Well, what I'm going to do has nothing to do with what you're going to do.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you know there's a faster plan out there, but you can't run it.
Right. And so I was walking the stages, and Hunter Cahill came over, and he wanted to walk the stages with me. I'm like, hey, this is great. Let's go walk the stages. He shoots open. So the whole time he's trying to tell me, no, let's just shoot shotgun for this whole thing. I'm like, dude, you got 20-round mags in your shotgun. I got to load them one at a time. He's like, no, you don't understand. You take this paper with the shotgun slugs, then you would shoot birdshot here and some more slugs there. I'm all, I can't go back and forth like that, Hunter. It's crazy. I can shoot pistol on all of it. Well, if you want to do that. The whole time he's like, no. He's like the little devil on my shoulder. You really should do this. You really should do this. I finally just had to say, no, I'm not going to do any of that, Hunter. No. We were shooting together, so it was great. So I got to watch his plans. They were all completely different from mine.
Yeah, and the tough thing that Corinne and I were talking about during the day is that a lot of the pistol arrays, because they are centered around open and TO, it forces us to run like 1 alpha. Mm-hmm. So you got to really slow down, and it makes a lot of the plans. It makes the stage times a lot slower, because if you don't hit that alpha, now
you
you've
don't
got
have
to
your round
run a
for
new
the
mag
next
change.
Yeah, exactly.
It throws everything off.
Forces you to slow down and focus on accuracy, which is one of the things that I like about that division in the first place. The focus is on accuracy and remembering that ammo is not unlimited.
You can't shoot like an open shooter. That's for sure.
You can't just blaze away. You got to think about it and be conservative.
Right, because if there's 20 rounds of rifle on the stage, I'll run a 45 round mag. And what are yours, 15? For
rifle 30.
30, okay. Because it was like, now we have something like 28. So I'm like, I'll throw in a 60.
Yeah.
Just in case. So I have a little extra.
I ended
to pad
two,
some of those targets because I like to triple tap stuff. So, and I'm looking at them and you're like, one.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Just pull the trigger fast.
Yeah, on two different stages, I ended with one round in the mag.
Yeah.
You got to be a better shooter to shoot factory.
It's just boring. It's just boring.
Well, but you guys had some. You look like you're having fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's fun to challenge yourself with if you could come up with a factory plan instead of a TO plan. So it's a good time. And Corinne shot real well. What did you think of the match?
I thought it was really great. I loved all the stages. Probably the best part of the match, though, was the squad that we were on and being able to watch Rick and get help and everybody. So everybody was really talented. We went through really quick. Stages were good. Guns ran amazing. So overall, I think it was a great couple days.
So let's set the stage. Yesterday afternoon, we go to stage 1. And our second shooter is Lena Mitchell. And she shoots the first rifle position, runs about 3 steps, puts her rifle in the barrel, and it flicks and turns and falls on the ground. And obviously that is a big letdown for everybody. Everybody loves Lena. Everybody knows Lena's the favorite to win. Mm-hmm. And it really was like, wow. It kind of takes the wind out of your sails. Because we had like 4 DQs on our squad.
Oh, wow.
And was it that many?
Yeah. Kay, her handgun broke at the start of a stage, which is really tough to deal with. So yesterday there was just a lot. It was like the Trail of Tears for her squad.
You just had to survive
going
yesterday.
through the first like 3 stages. Everybody was just like, "Holy crap, what's going on here?"
That's a rough day.
It was interesting.
Yeah. The super squad didn't look great.
No,
we were not too super. Greg had a couple penalties, and RoboCop never has penalties. So
I was shocked by that. He had an FTE, and he never forgets a target.
Yeah, he did. He ran right past.
Wow.
It.
Yeah.
So that was different.
That's incredible.
But it was interesting because everyone else was trying to pull together and just shoot a solid match, and unfortunately there was a lot of ugliness. And luckily, Rick, Corinne, Ashley Rourke, who's in our squad, I think she also won the national championship. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that she shot.
She'll bring it
home. She certainly
17-year-old
deserves it. She's amazing. I want to be like
year,
her when I grow up.
This is her first full season of 3-gun. And she, I believe she won the national championship in the ladies division.
I sure hope so.
Very impressed by her.
She tears it up.
Her dad, Shane, is just like the dad I want to be. He's there, like, carrying her bags and putting her stuff together. Doesn't even shoot the matches.
Yeah, I saw that.
Very, very
I got to
cool.
meet them for the first time. And, yeah, Shane was, totally cool dude after, meeting them and just chatting for the brief period of time. But then when I was watching you guys, shoot some stages yesterday, then I realized, he's there for the entire thing, like for support and.
Well, the cool thing is he's just as invested as she is. I mean, he takes everything that she does and he's looking at it all and trying to help as much as he can with stage planning, and really every different element in her game. He's trying to add whatever value he can, and it's just cool to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we had a great squad because it's like Kalani. He was having gun issues. He was having some ammo problems, and we striked up a little thing. It takes a village for Kalani to shoot a match. So he shot my rifle. He had Rick's ammo. He borrowed Corinne's handgun. It was just these. It was a typical Laker deal, but you know what?
The Jedi.
He got through it, right? And then the last stage, it took him 7 stages, and he finally beats me on the last stage. Just tears it. He's like, I finally got used to all these guns. I'm like, well, if you brought your own, and they worked,
you had your own stuff,
you probably would have started shooting good at stage 1.
Yeah, I think he was like a second off Greg on that one. I mean, he burned that stage down.
Yeah, he was real, he did real good.
Oh, wow, that's incredible with a whole mess of borrowed guns. Yeah. So we also got to see the shoot off in the eliminators on. What was that, Thursday?
Dave, that's probably a sore subject for Rick.
Is it?
Oh man, that was
man.
tough, man.
He's arm's distance away from me. We can't reach each other.
I do have short arms.
Yeah, it's true. I also got in a short arm joke in that one too.
Yeah, but I did it, so it doesn't count.
I loved you, a soft one. So we got. It was cool to be there to get to see it after we've seen it on the live stream and on Sportsman's channel and stuff like that. The one thing that I didn't like about it is there's way more mosquitoes out there than there were in my living room. Like, my back looks like I'm a dinosaur right now.
That was the first time I'd seen it like that. When I shot my pro match, I don't know about you, Keith, but I don't remember a bunch of
Isn't it like
bunch of
freezing
critters.
cold? You
We've
guys are out
never
there?
been here this time of
That's
year.
true.
Oh, okay.
We've
Yeah.
never been here this late in the year for a nighttime event.
Yeah.
We're always coming in the summertime when it's the worst, the hottest, and the mosquitoes have never been an issue. So
No.
I saw them in the lights. I'm like, wow, look at that. They're everywhere, and they were biting everybody. And
We needed a few
it was little
rounds of
different.
bird shot.
Yeah, it
Just
was-
throw them where it was.
right, right. So that's what happened. They were in your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got pretty bad.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Such pretty eyes.
Not as pretty as the elk.
Well, Rick, for the people that missed it, and they're going to be watching it in a few weeks or months on Sportsman's Channel, why don't you give us a little rundown of how it went?
Yeah, so unfortunately I let everybody down. Sorry, all the listeners out there. I wasn't able to bring it home this year, but no, it was tough. We had a lot of the same arrays they took from the Pro Series stages that they'd run previous in the year. So we ran the shotgun on the Polish plate rack. Then they really threw us a
I think they call
curveball.
that something else now. I don't think you can call
I don't
it.
know what's politically correct on that one. I don't
What are they calling that?
They're calling it the
like
Wheel
the
of Fortune.
propeller rack.
The propeller
Wheel-
rack. That's what it is.
Okay.
No, Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune.
Are we
we're trying to
dubbing?
get that-
We're going to dub
Gotta
our own
make
name
it
here.
sound decent.
That's probably
Propeller
trademarked,
rack is
though.
just telling you. I'm from San Francisco. I can say that. All right.
A lot of his best
It's
friends.
fine. No, it's fine. I'm not homophobic. Jeez. It's all
All right.
good.
No.
So
So they went to the propeller rack,
Propeller
we'll
rack.
call it, and that was pretty standard. We ran that with a pistol in the Pro Series during the regular season, but they threw us a curveball with the Death Star this time. They made us shoot it with a handgun, and then once we found that out about a week ago, everybody was really freaking out because, as you can imagine, trying to shoot a star
Yeah.
while it's spinning and articulating back and forth, that's what everybody was worried about, and we really all looked past the rifle, and that's what ended up getting me. Just too many makeups on the rifle plate rack, and then had to go down to the Eliminator, which they unveiled a new classifier for, I guess, upcoming seasons. I don't know how they're going to run this as a classifier because this was the hardest stage I
Yeah.
have ever shot.
I watched that, and it looked
It was
absolutely terrible. It was
unbelievable.
the rifle was like the 4x10 plates
Yeah,
or
so
something out there.
the shotgun and the pistol were the beginning of the stage, but it was really rudimentary and just a bunch of transition work, really. But
So
man, you got
take
to
it back.
the rifle.
What was it? It started with pistol, right?
Yeah, so
So it was 3 poppers, mag change, 3 more poppers.
No, you actually started shotgun. So
Okay.
you loaded the shotgun started dry. You loaded the shotgun up, 8 clays, dumped the shotgun in a bucket, drew the pistol, shot 3 poppers on the left, mandatory reload, shot 3 poppers on the right, dumped the pistol. So that was like the first 10 to 15 seconds of the stage.
And
It
it's
was-
all from one position.
Yeah, there was one shooting box. You didn't leave the shooting box, so it was pretty straightforward at the beginning. But then you picked up the rifle, and that was basically the entire stage. You had 5 4x10s at 50 yards, and then a mandatory reload from the belt on the rifle, and 5 more 4x10s. That was honestly the hardest target I've ever shot in a match.
Really?
And to make it sound hard, you were standing offhand, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no support.
No, yeah,
Because
you're
a
standing
4-inch
behind a
target
table.
at 50, that isn't bad. But when you're standing there and
Yeah.
you're breathing hard,
And it's the last gun.
And there's lights
You're
and-
trying to, and everybody's
Oh,
watching, and you're
Yeah,
trying to
there's
shoot
probably
these
100
things. It's
more,
tough.
100 or more people behind you too. So
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd rather shoot my dot gun at a 10-inch piece of steel at 400 yards than shoot at a 4x10 again
Yeah.
at 50.
50 is that what it was?
yeah,
Okay.
that was a nightmare.
That's a real tough shot. You got to get. It's funny because people don't think. It's like with a shotgun. They'll put a slug, a 10-inch or a 6-inch or 8-inch plate at like 20 yards, and people are like, oh, that's no big deal. It's easier to shoot an IPSC target at 100 yards
Yeah.
than it is to shoot that 6-inch
Yep.
plate at 20 yards. It's just it's the surface area. Right, and when you get that 4x10 and you get that wiggling side to side, because that's where it's not about up and down.
Yeah,
it's about
right.
side to
The
side.
10-inch up
So
and down
easy.
is irrelevant.
Yeah,
Your
it's
windage
so
is what gets
easy
you.
to move off that plate.
And I mean, you could just, I don't know how much of it they'll put in the show itself, but I mean, it was eating up everybody. I mean, it ate me up. I think it ate Kalani up. It got guys like Jerry Micklick. I mean, it was. I don't know how they're going to be able to run that as a classifier
Yeah.
when guys like us can't even put up a good run.
It's going to be a really interesting classifier for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it has. So I haven't done a lot of the USPSA classifiers. Is there a classifier that stands out in USPSA that's like unobtainable for the GMs?
Keith would know.
Well, okay. So in USPSA, when you go to shoot the classifiers, there's old standards like El Presidente, which is just stand and deliver and reload, deliver. And the whole key to all of that stuff, if you want to become a grandmaster, is fast draws, fast days, fast reloads. Everything's got to be done fast, fast, fast. And then they do things like long range standards. And for several years at the national championships, they would have 50-yard standards, and that's generally where the pistol shooters go, womp womp. Because that shooting that 50-yard target is something that not too many clubs do during the normal year, and now they've got turning targets. You stand in one spot, and you're having to deliver some accuracy. And generally, you see a guy who nobody knows, who probably was an NRA, bullseye shooter, who would clean it and then win the stage. But like for 3-gun now, there's this trend to make them harder. Everything's harder. So I've been practicing my 100-yard steel. Taking a 24 by 24 and shooting it at 100, doing my plate racks at 30 and 35. Because there's this trend, and I think 3-Gun Nation and the regionals and stuff has kind of pushed it to make everything harder. And we had select shots out to 150 in a match, so that stuff's kind of crazy, but it is what it is. So you have to practice, you have to prepare for it. So I changed the way I was manipulating the trigger on the handgun. I changed my training, just the routine, and really focused a lot on accuracy. And when I do it right, it's great. I'm like, hey, this is beautiful. It really is. And then I get into some close targets and just whack the hell out of the trigger, and I turn around and I start doing that on the 30-yard plates. So I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Go back to what you were doing before. Start aiming. It's that, and it is that going back and forth. So now in my training, I'm going to do where I've got the 100-yard plate, the 5-yard piece of paper, the 100-yard plate, the 5-yard piece of paper, and just start doing that. So you get those transitions down more, because it's really become more precision than anything else. In this match here, there was not one stage where we could shoot fast rifle. There was no.
We didn't hose at all.
There was no driving the gun and running like. I brought my 14-inch gun because. Generally, these matches, last season, Taryn Butler set me up with a 14.5-inch upper, really, really, really light, and because he saw me bring my other upper out, it was like my duty gun from work. He's like, well, what do you want that for? I'm like, hey, I need something that's light. He said, hey, let me send you this. And it was great. I mean, it feels really, really good, but it's for really going fast. And I came out and won the last 2 pro matches last year with it. And again, it's it's a 100-yard in gun, but this stuff's mainly 50 yards. And it was just great for just driving transitions, shooting on the move, just awesome. I brought that one here, and all we did was shoot 6-inch plates at 50, standing offhand.
I had my 13.5 Armalite. I wish I would have had my 18 because I didn't need any of the lightweight.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where you think the match is going to be like it was in the past.
Yeah.
And you show up, and of course now whenever Charles is involved and Ken Nelson, it's going to start going towards being a little bit more difficult, which is fine. I honestly thought this one was going to be more like the pro matches because that's kind of what it was built. But it turned out to be a good match. It was very good. Each stage, I can't say that I was disappointed with any stage. And I can say I was ecstatic with my Benelli from Taryn Butler because we had a lot of slugs, and I didn't miss one. I was so happy.
You were on point.
Seriously, I was like, The farthest they had them out to 70. And I was like, okay, so the first time we shot, I had 2 extra in my gun. And I'm like, I didn't need them. The second time I went 1 extra. And the last time I'm like, all right, I got to go supported at 75. Yeah, I'll put 2 more in there. Hit them the first time every time. So I was like, this is the way it should be. I had Pat Kelly set me up a shotgun with a rear sight, and it's dead on out to 150. So it's like, I'm not worried about slugs ever again. So the Benelli with that, it's not a problem. Some of the other manufacturers, their barrels aren't the same quality. Those Benellis are awesome. Would you agree?
Yeah, no. Well, I would definitely say that
some great plans.
I had some strengths and some plans that a couple of them were different than what you were telling me I should do.
They were
strongly suggesting I forget my plan and go with yours. But
no,
at that point, it was too close to going, and I didn't want to change something up and then risk forgetting what I was going to do. So even though it probably wasn't the best plan, it was the plan that was going to work best for me. And this was a weekend where some of my equipment definitely outperformed me, but I had some pretty darn good plans.
Well, we ended up talking about it afterwards, and I think Keith agrees that might be the faster plan.
Which one was
that? The slugs on the circle stage.
Oh yeah, admit it. That was a great plan. No, you know what? I did that.
I tried to talk her out of it.
So describe the stage for folks that weren't here and are
Which
listening
one
at
was
home.
that? The one that we started where
Yeah.
the rifle paper
Yes.
there was
Yep.
2 on each side,
There's
2
a big
like
circle.
downrange that
so
we could grab.
picture this, Dave.
Like a
we
baseball
show
diamond.
up there.
Yes.
Yeah.
We get there at 7:30 this morning. They actually have the portable lights out there because it's still dark.
It's freezing.
And Greg's going to shoot first.
No, it wasn't
and
cool.
he's in second place at the time, and the rest of us are down in the order. I think Kalani was second. So right after those two guys shoot, and they shot well, and we had put together some good plans for this stage. And I'm like, if one of us pulls it off, it'll be a stage win, no problem. And then the sun peeks over the berm, right? I mean,
Oh, my God.
And there's all this paper with a rifle that's stand and deliver with 5 little poppers out at 50, and now I can't see a thing. And I was glad it was really cold, so I was glad I didn't have to shoot first. And I was like, God, I wish I could have shot first.
Well, I think
I was like, man, I wish I could have shot first.
it
'cause
was
Well, and
either
the
going to
muzzle
be the
blast,
sun. It was
yeah.
either going to be the sun in your face, or it was going to be
The smoke.
yeah.
Yeah.
or the fog from your breath on your scope, which is what happened to me. What we were getting at is that plan that we were talking about was the second half. The first half was the rifle. And what happened to me, I didn't get the sun, but the very next person after me, that sun peaked up, and I was like, oh, I went at the exact right time, but I did have to deal with the right when I got up to take my sight picture, I raised the rifle up, couldn't see through
Big
the scope at all.
exhale,
So I
can't
like
see
bring my
anything.
shirt down, I'm trying to
That's-
okay, I got it, okay, good,
She
good
did
thing
what
I
I
checked.
did in Virginia.
It
And
was,
then-
it was the whack-a-mole. Every time she would pull the trigger, she'd pull her head
my
up.
head popped up.
Look to the next one, put her head down.
Broke my cheek weld, lifted up, put it back down. Didn't move the rifle, broke it up. Every single one, I had to check to move the gun to the target, hold it where I think it was, press the trigger, lift my head up. Did I get it? Nope. Okay, got it, and then move it again.
The other
it
tough
was a
part of that stage is
disaster.
that with irons, we had no magnification, and they had painted all those targets blue, and now you got grass as the background.
Yeah.
It
it
was
was
kind of gray
interesting.
blue,
Yeah.
gray smoke, or everything. It was impossible to see. So that hurt. But the second half went really smooth, at least for me, with that plan.
You had a better plan than I did.
that I hadn't seen anybody run yet when I went, and then I think I saw Jerry run it, something
Yep.
like that, right after it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I did a plan and I didn't take it from him, but he did it too. I was like, that's pretty cool. So now that worked out pretty well.
Jerry
moving
took
the whole
my
time.
plan.
So yeah, no, well, hey, he's welcome to it. It's working
No, we
out.
think that's what's going to be the stage win for TO, that the slug plan on that stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The guys who shot in the afternoon, yesterday or today, or at least after like third stage in the morning, whatever they were going to do was going to be the stage win. Because I think, I want to say Wyatt somebody had a 42. Greg ran it in a 44 when it was dark, and the rest of us were slower. And
Yep.
Nick Atchison ran a 43.
Oh, okay.
Later in the day, but when it was nice and warm, and that
Yeah.
was the plan that him and I had worked on. And he's shooting great, so it was close. If that one is, when you go to a match, sometimes like yesterday morning, I was like, "This is so funny." I'm sitting in my hotel room; it's raining like hell, and I'm looking at the weather. And it's going to stop at 11, and I got to shoot at 12:30. I'm like, I'm just laughing my ass off. And then this morning, I was thinking, "Man, I wish it was raining right now."
Yeah, we got ours,
Really?
definitely.
I
There was
wish
a trade-off.
If
Yeah.
it would have been raining, it would have been better.
Oh, because
it
you wouldn't
would've
have the
been no
sun.
smoke.
No fog.
No. I'm done with rain. Okay, no more rain for me this week.
Are
Why
we
is
going
that?
there? Are we going there?
We
Should we go
no,
there?
Are we going there?
No, it was raining in South Carolina.
I don't understand.
No,
I don't
shooting
understand
through a
why.
hurricane.
Oh, hurricane. Which hurricane
Yeah,
was that?
no,
Hurricane
Joaquin
Lisa?
Phoenix.
Joaquin?
That's the
Joaquin.
Yep.
They're getting pretty elaborate with these names.
It's a random generator.
Oh, okay.
It's got to be, but it has to start with a J. But now it sounds like it starts with a W when you say it. Joaquin.
So,
So
this is like
did-
your third match in a week,
This
right?
is like
Corinne?
my third match in a week, which
crazy.
may not be a big deal to pro shooters, but I
You are a pro
I
shooter.
don't
I'm
don't
looking
have a
at your-
title yet.
I'm
Don't
looking
have a
at your
title yet.
jersey
Oh, the
and,
jersey. Yes, I've got amazing sponsors. We've got Hornaday and we've got Terran Tactical and Weber Tactical and TACCOM and all those, but don't have an official title yet. But no, I went down to South Carolina for the ladies match, and it turned out everybody had a really good time despite the weather. We knew the weather was going to be there. I know that it stopped a lot of people from coming. But those that showed up, we fought through, got to shoot a couple stages. Any day you get to shoot is a good day. Weather, at least there wasn't any lightning, but man, it would not stop raining. So we ended up shooting 3 stages of 9. Well, 3 that were scored. Some people shot more, but
Sounds like a Charles Soule match while that rained.
we got to shoot on Saturday, canceled on Sunday. So, but then I was recruited while I was there to stay and shoot a show, the Top Gun, or the Big Gun. DC Machine is putting it on. I think it used to be called Lady Hot Shots or something like that, but that's going to be airing in January. And it's one of those, eliminator type shows. You start with 12, you end with 1.
Like a Top Shot style.
Top Shot style, and that was
But
a
it's like
blast.
ladies only type
Ladies
thing.
only, and we started with 12 women.
Keith did show up with a wig, and they made him go home.
What? You know what? Come on, my breasts were bigger than a couple.
It was
of
the
women.
calves. They're not very
I wasn't
feminine.
going to say it.
So,
All that junk in the trunk, Keith.
So anyway,
so we shot that for 3 days.
shot that for 3 days.
And then we were all a little bit, more than a little bit worried that we weren't be able to leave in time on Wednesday to get here in order to walk stages. So it was Diana Muller and Ryan and Becky Yackley and Lena Michalek. Please tell me how to say that, please. Officially, how do you say it?
Jerry said Michalek.
Michalek, okay.
Mm-hmm.
We
Can
all
you say it
piled
with
into
the
trucks
Cajun
and drove out
twang,
here.
though?
No, I cannot.
Okay.
So we got here exactly when we wanted to get here. So
What do you
it
worry
was-
about stage plans? You stole everybody else's.
Oh, I stole 1 from you. I'd say 1.5, and then I ignored you on 2. So that balances
Don't make
out.
me break you two up, all right?
Yeah, well,
She's always
hey,
at you in the middle.
she's all about the elk, man. I don't have a chance.
I've got the good side of the room over here.
As she pets the elk
As
again.
evil
That's
laugh.
not creepy at all.
No.
All right, so I'm going to change the subject up quite
Well,
a bit.
I got a question for you real quick.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I want to know what you thought, because you were hanging around while Kalani, Nick Atkinson, you were there, while we were all gaming stages
Yeah.
on Thursday afternoon, I believe.
Mhm.
And I want to know what you thought of that.
Of
'Cause
you
were
guys
just
jamming
kind of hanging
stages?
out. Yeah, what did you think?
You know, I thought it was really cool. I thought there was way more teamwork amongst people who are not team members than I had anticipated. And the way you guys were bouncing stage strategies off of one another was really cool. Not just in the fact that you were sharing stage strategies and like, I think it should be like this, but in also in like that's bullshit. This is the way you need to do it. Like, no, you're stupid. Your head's up.
Well,
your
everybody
butt.
comes up with their own, and they think it's the best.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. But the way that you guys were doing it, and you were talking to each other and working with each other, I had not expected that. From like
You figure it'd be more secretive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I figure like maybe the Armalite guys talk to each other, maybe Team Benelli talks to each other, something like that. Whatever team it is.
Yeah, you'll find there's some teams that won't share. And the Army. We won't talk about the Army, but and Tommy and Greg, they're great shooters and they have their own plan. They usually don't share it either. But for the rest of us, it's not like pistol matches where guys will go up and outright lie to each other about what they're going to do. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
See, that's
when I used to shoot the
frame
Nationals,
of reference I come from.
Yeah, when I'd go shoot the Nationals and people would lie about their scores, lie about how they're going to shoot it,
Yep.
lie about how they were doing. It's like, really? Why?
Yeah.
But, these guys are good guys, and Corinne and the rest of them we were shooting and just had fun. We had fun.
Yeah.
We bounced ideas and strategies off each other, and it's a great way to, because, I'll come up with a great plan. They'll be like, hey, what about that target? Oh, yeah, I didn't know that target. I didn't know that target was there.
Yeah, no, I think Dave pointed out which one was it. I don't remember which target it was, but none of us. There was about 5 of us guys out there.
Back and forth.
None of us saw the target except Dave.
Yeah, it was the back and forth where you had to go both sides for shotgun, both sides for rifle.
Oh yeah, the 2 paper.
And then there's 2 paper that were snuck
On
back
the
in
all
there.
clays
You're like,
front.
we don't have to go all the way over there. We can get it from right here.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you guys going to do about those 2
It
papers?
was like me,
You're
Ravin,
going to get 2 failure engagements.
Yeah. He's the only one that saw it.
That's good that you told them.
Yeah.
I'm not a jerk, so.
Well, there you go. Have you done any 3-gun, Dave?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But I've never done a 3-gun nation match.
Okay.
So coming out here and seeing this with like my frame of reference being USPSA style 3-gun matches, it was completely different. I mean, first of all, it's like, what target's painted blue? Why are the targets painted blue? So everything's painted white in USPSA type stuff. So yeah, it was really cool. I've mentioned it before. Like I was completely taken by how clean everything is. How the tables aren't like the warped piece of junk that's been sitting out, and they just dragged it out from behind one of the Connex boxes and put it on there, and now it's wobbling, and we're going to use that, and your shotgun might fall off of it. Everything's built like brand new. It's nice and painted. Everything looks the same. It's a uniform sort of thing. And granted, they probably stepped their game up a little bit because this is nationals, but
That's pretty typical, actually.
No, yeah,
Here.
this is
Yeah,
the
for
level
Three-Gun
of
Nation,
yeah.
Three-Gun
absolutely.
Nation.
They've been, when they came on the scene, they kind of raised the bar.
They set the
for
standard,
how
yeah,
things
for
are
sure.
done. The USPSA nationals are very good. They do a high production value. Pete Bressing's been running for the last couple of years. Great. Before that, when Mike Voigt was running as president, he put together some great matches too. But Three-Gun Nation is it's a business, and they run it like a business. So, it better look good because they're trying to sell a product, right? If the packaging sucks, then people aren't going to have a good time.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And, that makes for a better product. It's a better experience, too. So the, shooters vote with their dollars, and there's a ton of people here.
Well, you always
it's
know
a-
what to expect.
yeah.
You always know what to expect when you're going to Three-Gun Nation, regional or match or anything national. This is my first nationals. And I had a really good time.
Well, I mean, it is the first nationals, so it's I
Is
guess
it?
everyone's
What?
was the first
national.
Three-Gun Nation.
Oh, well.
Shut up, Rick.
Don't shut up, Rick. It makes for a terrible podcast.
I'm just gonna sit here and be quiet.
All right, most exciting time of the match was today. We're shooting the house stage.
Oh my
my
god!
goodness.
So we're all standing
Holy
inside the
crap.
house. Now, the house has a cement slab,
I need a new pair of drawers.
no carpet, and there's a dump bucket with a shot. You stage your shotgun, you're going to shoot slugs. And you shoot rifle, then you dump your rifle, and you grab your shotgun. So we're all standing there, and one of the shooters, who will remain nameless, shoots his rifle, ditches it, grabs his shotgun. Now, he grabbed it up on the handle, so his finger, as I was watching him, it wasn't anywhere near the...
Yeah, you grab the buttstock.
Yeah, he grabbed the buttstock, so it wasn't anywhere near the trigger, but something caught on the barrel, and he launched a one-ounce slug
Oh, shit.
into the cement,
Yeah.
right?
20 feet away.
Yeah, with everybody standing there, and it went left, right, forward. It went out the side of the building.
It hit Brian Corey in the hand.
A piece hit
nicked his
Brian,
hand.
a piece hit Ashley, who was the one of the other ROs.
Kalani
So
and I
it-
ended up in the fetal in a
it
corner.
was, yeah,
it was
well,
terrifying.
but you were there earlier too, so I don't.
It was
I wasn't going to say anything.
Why you gotta put that on blast?
I found him that way in the car when I showed.
Why do you
They
gotta
said
put that
it's
on
cold
blast?
outside, but it was
told
really.
me it was for body heat.
It was very exciting. You see how people really do react when bad things go bad, and
He was more just baffled, like, what?
well, yeah.
Well, he felt
How?
terrible
Well,
because
he's sitting there looking at
looking
the gun. He's not even touching the trigger. He's looking at
Yes.
the gun. So I went over and took it from him because I've been around a lot of things with guns that went bad. So I just took the gun from him and said, "Hey, let me look at it." And I looked, and that safety was all the way on.
Oh, really?
It was
Yeah.
all
Wow.
the way on.
That's the craziest part about this.
Yeah.
He didn't touch the trigger. Safety was on. I mean, I still don't know how it could have happened.
that was bad luck.
And did he, hit it on the table or
Well,
something?
it's in a bucket, and he reaches over and he starts pulling it straight up, and something along the side of that gun, I can see the manufacturer, drug on the side of the bucket, and it made it detonate, and that was not good. That was
Wow.
not good
It's
at
pretty
all.
scary.
So
No, we
he
were
said he
lucky,
hadn't
I
done any
think.
work to the trigger. No,
Everybody we took a step
were
back then
very,
after that.
very lucky because it was a slug and not
Yeah, that wasn't just
birdshot.
birdshot. That was a slug
Slug.
going
That's-
1,200.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pieces of that are bigger than a 45. So people could have really gotten hurt the way
Yeah.
the gun was set, and it was too bad because their second to last stage, one of our shooters got knocked out, another DQ, right?
Yeah.
And it just makes you realize two things: one, anything can happen, and two, you better wear your eyes all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that would be really easy to get your eyes poked out with something like that. So that is our pro tip for the week: when you're at the range, wear your eye protection.
Wow. Amazing way to say wear your eye protection, too. That's a
First-hand
incredible story.
knowledge. Yeah. Oh, that was pretty rough.
Dang. Well, everyone turned out okay. So going forward, we're done with the season, the Three-Gun Nation season. Training is going to be happening next, right? Are you guys going to be taking time off, or are you going to be just jumping right into training? Is there something from this match that you learned?
I'm going to take like a 1 month of nap and just kind of relax for a little while.
Let the monster get out of your system?
Yeah, I'm still pretty jacked up on Monster. But, I mean, one of the big things, because this season, in the shooting community, the season could be so long if you let it be that long, because there really are matches everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
I've found that in the middle of the summer and then as much as I can in the winter, just to kind of put things down, clean them up, get everything ready for the next year, but not really focus on the live fire or the matches. Just do the training and the airsoft and the dry fire, and but step away for a little bit. I feel like that's important so that when you start it back up, you feel a little bit rejuvenated and you never get burned out. What do you think, Keith? I mean, I know you do similar things.
Yeah, I do like the dry fire. I can tell you that. I will certainly go home, and I will certainly revisit the transitions with the pistol from those long, really difficult targets to the up close, easy stuff, back to the long stuff, because that was something that we did a lot of in this match. And you really had to be on the trigger on the sights. And there's a point where, you settle in and you just shoot the sights. And that's what I tell all my students, look, the fastest you're going to do is if you just get a hit every time you can shoot the sights. Mm-hmm. Don't try and outshoot the sights. Shoot the sights when they're on the target. And that's going to be your best performance at that time. Then you start speeding up how fast you can keep the sights on the target and how fast you can move the gun to the next target, etc. And with these transitions now from close to far, close to far, close to far, because we're talking hard targets now, not like 25 to 15. We're talking 10 to 100. So we're trying to speed up those kind of transitions. I'm going to work more on that. I think I was real happy with the way the slugs went. It took a couple of months to kind of get that squared away.
Yeah,
it's working now. It's working. I won't even clean that gun. I won't take it apart. Won't do anything. And then, then really it's there'll be one more match for me, the Surefire match at the end of the month in Vegas. And then it's going to be rest, rehab. I just lost 40 pounds, just eating right or exercising. I'm going to lose about another 20, get ready for next year. And everything's geared towards getting together for SHOT Show, getting to Vegas for SHOT Show, and just meeting new sponsors, representing current sponsors, rolling out anything new you got, and building new relationships outside the club, Rick. Just
not cool, bro.
You're single. It's okay. Just preparing for a great year. I think 2016 is going to be amazing.
Well, and one of the things that I know that the community has really enjoyed is your challenges, your shotgun challenges that you've been putting on Facebook and things like that. But I feel like this is the best opportunity to call you out. Like I'm holding my camera vertical for the people that are listening, and this is how 13-year-old girls film a video. This keep horizontal. This is how you film a video. When you go watch Jurassic Park, it's not like this.
Professional shooter, semi-pro videographer.
Snap. That's true. When I'm watching videos on my phone, I'm usually watching it sideways.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, no, all right.
That's always just amateur work.
I'll make sure. But, it's so much easier to hold in your hand. I got it.
Exactly. I mean, this is the natural thing on a phone. But, if someone's, watching it like in a normal environment. And, again, like when you go to the movies, you're not watching Jurassic Park like this. So.
All right, point taken. I need to
Something
get
came out of left field, and I
need to step up my game with the videography. I need to get pay somebody to come out and film me
absolutely.
It's not right.
Oh, fancy.
You tried that once, but that went on a whole new website.
That's yeah.
But they'll probably know that they need to hold it letterbox.
Right, right. As long as they're doing that and they're tested, we're good.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Corinne, how about for you?
This was my first full year of shooting 3-gun. I met Taryn Butler last year in October at the first ladies 3-gun match, and everything just kind of exploded since then. And so my goal for this year was shoot as much as I can, and then go have my personal practices where it's just skills, the skill drills, making sure that I'm focusing on accuracy, because of the tack irons that I do. And also just to kind of hone it back in, because when you're at the match, you're like, go, go, go. And so what naturally happens is that you speed up, you go faster, you find out where your weak area is because you add a little bit of a stress factor. And so suddenly your weak areas just kind of pop out and you're like, slugs were not so good today. Mm-hmm. So in my skills drills, I'm going to work on slugs. So you take that, then you mix it back together, and then you put it back into the next match, and then you see how it's going from there. What do I need to work on for the next one? So like I said, I tried to go to as many major matches as I could, 3-Gun Nation, but also some outlaw ones. I have awesome clubs around where I live. I'm very fortunate. Like Rick said, you could shoot every weekend. You could shoot multiple matches a weekend if you want to. So it's like trying to make good decisions about what you need. So I've been shooting an awesome outlaw match at Lead Farm at Tooth and Nail Armory in Versailles, Missouri, or Versailles, as the Missourians call it. Yeah, no, seriously, it's spelled Versailles like in France, but it's Versailles. So. Awesome. It's amazing. And the coolest thing about this range, not only are they awesome, they always set up the best matches, and we shoot very difficult things, especially for tack irons. We'll shoot out to 600 yards. They come up with creative stuff. So that's like harder sometimes than 3-Gun Nation style stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's like going to these super, super hard and then coming here or somewhere else. So I think I'll just keep doing the same kind of stuff that I've been doing. Like, even with this match, now I know where my weak areas are, but also I can see the progress that I have been making. So yeah, I just keep training and going to matches. So even in the winter, I go to some outlaw matches, with the hot hands and 3 layers of clothing and all of that. So it's fun to do. So I don't want to stop in an off season. There's no off season. Just keep going and getting better. And then hopefully next year I'll be a better shooter.
What? There's no off season. You got to make me look like a bitch.
There's no off season. Okay. Do you even
want
gun,
it,
bro?
come on.
Apparently,
you see Corinne on the range. And, she has the reputation of being kind of serious. Do you think she really goes home and rests?
She's pretty intense, yeah.
Right? I'm serious.
She probably sleeps with her eyes
honestly,
open.
I thought she was a mute. For the first year, I thought she was a mute. I didn't think she spoke.
mute.
Well, I thought she was like a spawn of Greg and like another robot. Like just a different, like a girl robot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I thought
like terrifying.
Thought that was going on.
Good.
Yeah.
No, just
the ice princess.
When I'm I'm just trying to shut my mouth and keep my ears open and my eyes open and just try to concentrate on what I know how to do well, what I need to do on my plan, and then just work at it, and then just pay attention to what other people are doing, and I don't know. Yeah, I guess that makes me quiet most of the time and serious looking, but
pretty intimidating.
This is just my face. This is my happy
just
face.
the way her face looks.
This is my happy face.
How'd that Hornady ammo run this weekend?
No problems whatsoever. It's always awesome. Like I said, everything outperforms me usually. Been shooting the American Gunner 115 grain hollow points actually, which is pretty cool. I've got some.
Yeah, you let me borrow a few on stage.
Yeah.
Like,
You didn't
have hollow points.
Hollow points. No, that's what I'm shooting.
They're more accurate. It's like a golf ball. They fly truer. Go with me, Rick. Come on.
I don't know, man. I'm
me.
just an engineer. I don't get the
go
physics.
With me. Come on. Just go with it.
Physics are not your thing.
One thing I get made fun of.
I don't math good.
Rick was making fun of me for shooting the 68 grain.
Yeah, so we're out here at all these base
Hollow
stages. She's shooting the heavy, like long range ammo.
Hey.
$1 a round on all these stages.
Yeah, I need to pick up something a little bit lighter, but it's working so good. I guess I didn't, see a problem.
Kalani asked me today because he was shooting my gun, my rifle. He's all, "You still shooting those 36 grain bullets?" And I looked at him. I'm like, "Why you got to tell everybody?"
Yeah, why you got to put me on blast?
Why you got to say that?
Yeah.
No, we were just joking because I experimented with some 40s, some 36, just playing around.
Yeah, we all did a couple years ago when the pro matches.
But it doesn't. It's not like pistol where you load and you can get.
There's a threshold.
It just doesn't work. So 55 is fine for everything, or 52, depending on what you want. But for just across the course kind of stuff. I mean, long range, you get into dealing with your heavy bullets. But the light bullet experiment didn't work. Didn't work at all.
So she was dropping 68 grain Hornadies.
Hey, it runs the gun. It goes
dollar.
bang every time.
Yeah,
that's fine. Make them count.
Makes
that's right.
the ammo manufacturers happy.
Go big or go home.
Right?
Yeah. What was the round count on rifle then?
I went through a ton of rifles.
We shot quite a bit this weekend. Let's put it this way. For the first 4 stages, I took 200 rounds of handgun and probably 200 rounds of rifle. And on the last stage, we only had 5 rounds of handgun. And I was like, I'm going to have to go to the car and get some more.
Wow.
Because we had shot a lot through that first 4 stages yesterday. And quite a bit of rifle. All of it was long. I mean, none of it was fun and fast and dirty and just driving the gun like I wanted. But it was still a lot of it. Yeah, it is what it is.
So Corinne dropped a few $100 worth of 68 grain on the range.
Oh, easily. Oh, yeah.
I put it to good use. Good use.
There you go. Well, this has been great. The shoot-off is going to start in hour or so here, so we ought to go find some adult beverages or something like that and saddle up a seat. So
Bring
Rick,
the elk. Bring the elk.
Let's carry the elk out there.
We should carry the elk out there. That's awesome.
Can we wear it as a hat?
Corinne.
Would you stop interrupting him? Gosh, dang it, Rick.
Little ADD
the
over
best
there.
3-gunner Detroit has to offer, Rick Birdsall.
Our targets move.
Well, thank you all for coming on the show.
Thanks for letting us
Thank
do this.
you.
This was fun.
Dave, thank you for having me back.
We got to do this stuff more often.
We should.
Yeah.
We definitely should.
We got to figure out how many people we can Skype in at once.
Okay, I'll start researching
I think
that.
we could do a lot of these like round tables and have some fun.
I'll start researching that. We'll do audio only, though, Keith, so you don't have to wear your pants, man.
Good.
I don't have any on
Give
now.
me my pants back, Rick.
Dude, you said I could have those.
No, I got to wear something outside.
Oh, damn it.
What a great interview with Corinne Mosher, Keith Garcia, and Rick Birdsall. I had a lot of fun recording this one in person at USSA in Tulsa, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. Big thanks to Buck Hopper for giving us a quiet room to do this in. If you have any thoughts, feedback, or guest suggestions, you can